The story begins in the vibrant city of Cartagena, Colombia. Here we meet Leo, a man who spends most of his days lost in alcohol. One day, he arrives at a large house after being called there by Lucia, a kind-hearted nurse. Lucia introduces him to the lady of the house, Amélie. Originally from France, Amélie was once a proud and strong-willed woman. Now, she was in need of an extra caregiver. Leo had come hoping to get the job. Amélie, however, warned him that the work wouldn't be easy. She asked if he had any experience taking care of children or sick people. Leo, being honest, admitted he didn't, but he badly needed the job. Seeing his sincerity, Amélie agreed to hire him. Leo started working right away, but whenever he found a chance, he secretly drank alcohol. Amélie often called on him for help since she couldn't move on her own. Although this embarrassed her deeply, she still tried to keep her dignity. For example, instead of asking Leo to turn the pages of her book, she would only ask him to place the book in front of her. Then, she'd turn the pages herself using a stick held in her mouth. After a while, Amélie told Leo to have dinner ready by 8 p.m. and sent him out of the room. Meanwhile, Lucia was surprised that Amélie had chosen to hire a man for such delicate work. Before Leo's arrival, Amélie had already gone through nearly 40 nurses, all women. Lucia believed that a man shouldn't see a woman in such a vulnerable state. To Amélie, her disability felt like a deep shame, something she thought only another woman could witness with compassion. However, Leo was determined not to lose the job. He told himself he'd rather wash dishes forever than give up this opportunity. Early the next morning, around 3 a.m., Lucia woke Leo up. She wanted to teach him how to change Amélie's diapers. Leo hadn't realized that such responsibilities were part of the job. Feeling a bit awkward, he hesitated. When he entered Amélie's room with Lucia to help freshen her up, Amélie pretended to be asleep. She was overwhelmed with embarrassment, knowing a man was now helping her with such a personal task. Lucia asked Leo if he would be able to manage everything on his own. Leo nodded. The following morning, the entire house was awoken by Amélie's angry screams. Leo had fallen asleep drunk and forgotten his duties. He was supposed to brush her teeth, bathe her, feed her, everything she needed to start her day. Once the morning tasks were done, Amélie would send him off to handle the housework. She loved feeling the fresh breeze through the open windows. As she sat there, she often reflected on how different her life used to be. That evening, Lucia returned home and asked Leo if everything had gone well. He nodded in reply. Later, while hanging laundry, Lucia asked for Leo's help. As they worked together, Leo couldn't contain his curiosity and asked about Amélie's past. Lucia told him that 3 years ago, Amélie had been traveling from France to meet her fiancé. On the way, she had a terrible accident. When she finally woke up from her coma, she discovered she was completely paralyzed. Her arms and legs no longer worked. After that, Amélie made a heart-wrenching decision. She would never return to France. She didn't want her loved ones to see her in such a helpless state. Sadly, her fiancé never tried to contact her again. Later that night, after finishing his chores, Leo went to a bar to drown his sorrows, but even alcohol failed to bring him peace. The next day, Leo returned to work. Lucia was genuinely happy to see him. After all, many nurses before him had barely lasted a few days before running away. Smiling warmly, Lucia handed Leo some cash, along with a shopping list. He headed to the market to buy the supplies. While shopping, a girl tried to steal his money. Thankfully, Leo managed to protect it, but the girl quickly vanished into the crowd. When Leo came back home, he heard loud laughter coming from Amélie's room. Curious, he peeked in and saw that her physical therapist had arrived, encouraging her to move around more. Just then, Leo noticed Lucia nearby, giving herself an injection. Later, Lucia explained to Leo that the injection helped her stay focused and energized for work. Leo couldn't help but joke to himself that she might even outdrink the heavy drinkers at dinner. Amélie frowned at the meal Leo had prepared, fish. She worried that even a tiny bone could get stuck in her throat. Calmly, Leo assured her he had carefully removed every bone and thorn. He encouraged her to try it. Though hesitant at first, Amélie finally agreed when Leo gently fed her himself. She was delighted to find the fish perfectly clean, without a single bone. After work, Leo returned to his small, messy apartment and started drinking. He spent the entire night drowning in alcohol, and the hangover lingered well into the next morning. Unable to pull himself together, he decided to skip a day of work. When Leo finally returned to Amélie's house the following day, he lied and said he had a fever. But Amélie wasn't fooled. She knew he must have been passed out drunk somewhere. Sternly, She warned him that if it ever happened again, he would lose his job. Later, Leo went to see Lucia, who handed him an envelope. It was his first paycheck. Now that he finally had some money, Leo treated himself to a brand new pair of shoes. Feeling nostalgic, he also visited a boxing club to relive a piece of his past. Leo had once been a European boxing champion. Eagerly, he began throwing punches at the heavy bag. However, years away from the sport had taken their toll. His punches lacked their former power and precision. The following day, we see Emily talking about her love for reading books. Leo, on the other hand, admitted he didn't enjoy reading at all. Emily was surprised and a bit doubtful. To test him, she told Leo to pick a book from the shelf and read it aloud. Leo started reading but could barely understand anything. Seeing this, Emily decided that from now on, Leo would practice reading aloud to her every day to improve his skills and comprehension. Leo continued his routine of visiting the boxing club after work. One day at the gym, the coach announced they were preparing for a big fight in Cartagena. Winning this fight could take them to the next level. The coach and Leo were actually old friends. The coach proposed an idea. If Leo trained Miranda, they could win. Fame, money, and a major push for women's boxing were all at stake. There was another candidate too, Lena. The moment Leo saw her, he recognized her. She was the same girl who had once tried to pickpocket him at the market. Leo sparred with Lena and easily defeated her, proving his strength. Meanwhile, Lucia confided in Amelie, saying that sometimes Leo did things that were hard to forgive. But Amelie replied that she had no reason to fire him. Leo quietly came, did his work, and left. More than that, he was taking very good care of her. One day, Amelie, a bit hesitant, asked Leo what he did after leaving her place. Leo replied, "I'm an athlete." That evening, Leo went to the beach, smoked a cigarette, and reflected quietly. The next day, Leo suggested an idea to Amelie. At first, she shouted no, but Leo, now sober and more determined, insisted. Finally, Amelie agreed. They went to a rooftop cafe by the beach. It was the first time in a long while that Amelie had stepped out of the house, and she felt genuinely happy. Leo brought a small box, a gift for her. He asked Amelie to close her eyes and guess the scent from a bottle he placed in front of her. Amelie loved the playful game and thanked Leo for giving her such a beautiful evening. A few days later, Leo met his coach friend again. He agreed to train Lena but made one condition. He wanted $5,000 if they won the fight. The coach accepted the deal. That same evening, Leo went to Miranda and asked if she knew where Lena lived. Miranda revealed that Lena hadn't been coming to the gym for days and didn't even have a proper home. Hearing this, Leo was taken aback. Meanwhile, Leo kept up his daily routine, reading books aloud to Amelie, walking her outside, and spending more time together. These were some of Amelie's happiest days, being with her friends and feeling free again. During one such outing, Leo spotted Lena walking with a man. He immediately realized the painful truth. Lena was earning money through questionable means. One day, Leo met Lena face to face. He asked her why she wasn't coming for training. Lena replied that boxing wasn't working out for her. She wasn't getting any money or fame from it. Leo told her, "If you train under me, you'll earn both money and fame. Your life will change drastically." He mentioned the bet he had made with his coach regarding Lena, and told her that if she won, she would get half the earnings. After hearing this, Lena agreed to train. But the problem was, she didn't even have enough money to buy food. Meanwhile, Amelie had stopped eating. She missed Leo dearly but didn't know he was spending time with Lena. One night, while dancing at a bar, Lena bumped into another girl and got into a fight. Eventually, Lena and Leo had to run away from the scene. On the way, Lena stopped at a place to use the restroom. Just then, a group of men got out of a car, coming to take revenge. They attacked Leo, beating him severely and demanding to know where Lena was. Seeing this, Lena came to Leo's rescue with a gun in her hand. Lena took Leo home, where his condition was so bad he couldn't go to work the next day at Amelie's place. Leo asked Lena for a favor. The next morning, the doorbell rang at Amelie's mansion. She had been eagerly waiting for Leo, but when she opened the door, it was Lena standing there. Lena told Lucia that Leo wouldn't be able to come to work today and introduced herself as Leo's new neighbor, the one who had sent her there. Lucia, noticing Lena's behavior, began to suspect that something was going on between her and Leo. She then told Amelie a lie, that a man had come to say Leo was on leave today. Amélie, however, thought that Leo might never come back to work. She felt he wouldn't have the courage to speak the truth anymore. To distract herself, she buried her head in books. But Leo's thoughts kept haunting her. He had become a beautiful part of her life. In the meantime, Leo was still living with Lena, though his wounds hadn't yet healed. Several days passed, and Amélie began interviewing new nurses for the position. However, none of them felt right to her. She was constantly thinking about Leo. And then Leo actually showed up in front of her. His face was covered in bruises. Seeing him, Amélie became furious and told him, "You can leave now. You've been fired." Hearing this, Leo was deeply hurt. Without saying a word, he left. That night, feeling the weight of losing his job, Leo sat down to drink, but he changed his mind and gave the bottle to a beggar instead. Later, Lena came to Leo's house and asked if she could stay with him. Leo agreed. Days passed, and Leo began training Lena properly for the upcoming championship. Meanwhile, Amélie kept missing Leo. She cried often. Lucia brought her food and tried to convince her to move on. Amélie replied, "I'm trying. I'm just so tired of this useless life." She asked Lucia for an injection, but Lucia refused. She genuinely cared and didn't want Amélie to harm herself. Meanwhile, Lena and Leo continued training together, eating, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. One day, Lena asked, "You're a guy. Have you ever been attracted to me?" Leo answered clearly, "No, not at all." Lena had hoped to marry Leo and settle down with him in Europe, but Leo had other plans. He was still trying to leave his bad habits behind. The next morning, when Amélie opened her eyes, she was shocked to find Leo lying next to her. Lucia was also surprised when she saw Leo in bed, but neither of them woke him. When Leo finally woke up, he was confused about how he ended up there. He asked Amélie if he could get his job back, but she didn't trust him anymore. Leo promised he would change and quit drinking. Overcome with emotion, Amélie started crying and told him, "I've missed you so much." She admitted she didn't want to go through the same pain again, but in the end, she gave Leo another chance and hired him back. When Leo walked out, Lucia warned him, "If you hurt Amélie again, there will be consequences." Leo and Amélie started spending time together again, going out and enjoying nature. For Amélie, these moments were precious. No one had ever done anything like this for her before. While Leo kept training Lena, she was getting better day by day. He was doing a good job, helping Amélie, training Lena, and still working. One day, Amélie told Leo, "Be careful when you fight, don't get hurt." Later, Leo told Lucia he wouldn't be coming to work for 2 days because he had to focus on training Lena for a big fight. Lucia didn't tell Amélie about Lena because she was afraid it would upset her. She wanted to protect her, so she stayed quiet. Amy then asked Lucia to buy Leo a gift. A yellow shirt, like a sunflower. Finally, the day of the fight came. Both coaches watched closely as their fighters stepped into the ring. Lena fought hard, and she won. Because of this, Leo won the bet and got $5,000. But instead of keeping the money, Leo gave all of it to Lena. He knew she had earned it. Later, Leo took Amélie for a long drive in his friend's cool car. On the way, Amélie said it had been a long time since she had traveled so far from home. She started to feel that maybe life still had good things waiting for her. Leo brought her to the beach, and they went swimming together. It felt like a perfect moment of peace, like they were the only two people in the world. So friends, what do you think? Life can be hard sometimes, but it also brings us hope, love, and second chances. Like Leo and Amélie, we all can change, grow, and make things better. If you were in their place, what would you do? Would you give someone a second chance, or would you walk away? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.